Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another banger. Now, this one is going to be extremely dark. I'm not gonna lie to tell you all. So today we're gonna discuss the matter is plucked and dyed. Not as in dead, but more like hair color change. D-Y-E-D. Yeah. But I'm gonna post the original title on the video because the title is so damn long I can't even pronounce it properly. So anyways, let's get right into the context. So it all starts with this 18-year-old chick who's apparently an assistant manager, a manager of a baseball club, because the reason being is that she quitted the swimming club because of her breast size. Her breast size was too big and was carrying a lot of weight, so her swimming skills were depleted immediately. She sees this guy by the name of Katase and she very much fell in love with him. Now, they always talk about the strict policy about romance and sports industries, works, and all of that. So apparently there's this coach. Now, this coach is not your typical fat, ugly bastard. No, this is surprisingly an attractive coach. I can't believe I'm saying this out of my mouth. The only thing is just that he's aged. Like, he looks like he's in his early to mid 40s. That's what he look like. But the motherfucker is fit. Bro looks fit as hell. He looks like he could still be able to play for sport. That's how fit he is. But this is where it gets a little bit interesting. She goes on to like trying to have a romantic relationship with one of the players, which is one of the main characters, that is. And when he saw that, he was like, use it as an insurance policy, quote unquote. And he was going to report her because of this, but she said, in exchange, well, I can do whatever or anything for you in exchange of you not trying to get me kicked out or report me. So he uses that as his advantage. Bro puts her to the most drilling training sessions I've ever seen in my life. And yes, it is physical, but not that type of physical that will have you sweating. Well, actually, it will have you sweating 5 times more than it should be. And and this is where it gets a little bit more psychotic. So afterwards, she spots like the guy trying to like grope one of the teachers, and he tells her, listen, I need you to meet me by the club. Sorry, not by the club, by the guidance room, and we're gonna have a little chit chat, a little discussion. And she reluctantly agreed. And as they were talking, of course, bro was having the time of his life. The worst part of it is that she was at least reluctant at first, and then she started to enjoy it over time. Because here's where it gets bad, even worse actually. He put a drug in her. Yeah, he like kissed her and put a pill in her mouth to swallow it, but she doesn't notice until the drug kicks in effectively. And this is an aphrodisiac too, so that's what makes matters even worse. And she was like getting excited. She thought that she was getting a call from Katase, and he basically said, I lied. Don't move, it's over. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. And she started crying. She bawled her eyes out, and she started monologuing, and he's like, yeah boy, I got you right where I want you. And this is where it gets even more frightening. Her eye color went extremely, like, usually when a character is a lost cause, when they either have the mini heart shapes or their eye color just become from like bright to like an extremely dim flat matte color. Yeah, that's her case. And in this one, she had both. That is the end of the context. And without further ado, let's get right into this video.
今日はここまで。
お疲れ様。練習大変だと思うけど頑張って。みんなやれるって私は信じてるから。
はい、七尾先輩。
じゃあ、片瀬くん、これ。
ありがとう、七尾さん。ああ、なんか二人怪しくないっすか？部内恋愛禁止っすよ。何言ってんだよ。
気を抜きすぎてた。名前で呼びそうになるなんて。 瀬翔也。翔くんとの出会いは入学してすぐ。この胸のせいで水泳をやめて無気力だった頃、毎日頑張る彼の姿を見て野球部のマネージャーになった。やがて彼を好きになり、彼も同じ気持ちだったけど部内恋愛は禁止。恋人らしいことはせず、名前で呼び合うのも二人きりの時だけ。
茜。
翔くん？
心配でさ、監督に変なことされてないかって。
私がそういうの許すタイプじゃないって知ってるよね。
そうだよな。
そういや、さっきの翔也の電話な、あれ嘘だ。なかなか興奮したろ。ドスケベで下品な最低の変態女にな。
Alright guys, that seems to be the end of part 1. Yes, this has 2 episodes and it's uncensored unfortunately. But trust me, I think part 2 will be much more diabolical than this. This is just the beginning of the end of such a romantic relationship between these two. Because god dog, the coach was just extremely evil. I think he just did it for the hell of it and the shits and giggles. Because how? My thing is, right? Usually, it would typically have like an ugly fat bastard, but I think in this case, it makes sense because at least the dude is at least good looking enough to make the appeal to the show. And I think it makes sense as to why the show was made in the first place. But the animation went extremely crazy. The persons who did this really had it thought it out. I think they thought this through and was like, you know what? Let's break the typical ugly fat bastard character and let's try to add someone more appealing. And that's exactly what they did. They cooked. Even though it's bad, but it's also good because the animation went crazy. The story was a little bit almost predictable, I would say, because I obviously would expect to see this coming because I saw this at least 3 times. The first time I saw it, I didn't know what it was about. I think it took me like about the second time to really catch on to what was really the plot about. But now I must say this. Part 2 is gonna get extremely worse than the first one. The second part, when it comes to shows like this, it's always more genetically worse than this. And yeah, so that is the end of part 1, guys. I would personally rate it, but I would think I would rate this after part 2 because I don't usually rate after a first, unless there's only like 1 episode. Maybe I may not, maybe or maybe not, I would rate it. But because it has a second episode, I will not rate this as of yet. But yeah, guys, that is the end of part 1. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And I forgot to add this detail. Once while they were talking, I talk more where like I believe there was like break on or something, or like the ending of the session. He was talking to her behind the sink where there was like where they could wash their faces and stuff. And she was like trying to like empathize with him and trying to talk to him and stuff. And he's like, well, listen, you don't, she tells him, listen, I'm not that type of chick. Yes, the fuck you are. I mean, come on. I mean, come on. It's not like she was willing to be that type, but I mean, come on. It's evident. But she was telling him, well, listen, I'm not the type of chick. I only have eyes for you. And while she's saying all of this, bro, the coach is right underneath her. Oh my god, that's just evil. And he was like, and he gets like a kiss from her after all that stuff she did with the coach, and she kisses him, and I was like, oh no. No amount of Listerine would make me do that. But I feel bad for bro because he doesn't know any of this. He doesn't know until part 2 reaches. Yeah, that is pretty much the end of it. So let me know what you guys think. Have a good one. Make sure to like and subscribe and look out for part 2. Until then, peace out.